All right, so we're going to be playing Borderlands 2 today. I just have to install it. Let me install it to my solid state drive. And wait a minute. Take-Two terms of service updated February 28th, 2025. Okay, hold up. I gotta look into this. Why are they updating terms of service on a game that is almost 20 years old? All right, so here we are at their new terms of service and software privacy policy. And the very first thing I see that is wrong with the terms of service is section 17 right here. It explicitly states it is a mandatory This agreement contains a mandatory arbitration clause and a waiver of class action and jury trial rights for all users residing in the United States and any other territory other than Australia, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, or the territories of the European Economic Area. In other words, if you don't live in like any of these three countries or the entirety of the European Union, you have to go through arbitration for if they decide, hey, you're doing something wrong and they want to sue you. This is stupid. Take-Two terms of service is treating Borderlands like Disney treats their IPs. And now we go into Take-Two interactive software privacy policy. This is all about like data collection and what types of data they're going to be gaining from you. And it's like they say it depends on how you use the services. But in a general sense, they collect the following information: identifiers and contact info. That includes your name, username, gamer tag, postal and email address. So not only are they getting your email address, they are also getting your physical address, your phone number, unique IDs. I'm not quite sure what unique IDs is. But then there's mobile device ID, platform ID, gaming service ID, advertising ID, and your IP address. And then there's also protected characteristic information such as your age and gender. Generally, companies should not be collecting information like that. But it gets worse. Up next, we have commercial information, which is your purchase and usage history and preferences, including your gameplay information. They're going to look at what you bought specifically we're just going off the assumption that unique IDs means like hardware IDs related specifically to whatever device you play Borderlands off of, which in my case, it's my desktop computer. So they're going to use that information to basically do whatever they want to do with as they please. Here's where it starts getting their billing information. So they're basically saying they're going to have access to your payment info, which is like your credit card or your debit card number and your shipping address. So really, if they wanted to, someone working for Take-Two could just swoop in, steal your identity, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it without going through arbitration. And then there's the internet and electronic activity, web and app browsing, and gameplay information related to the services. Information about your online interactions with services or our advertising, and details about the games and platforms you use, and other information related to installed applications. This could be taken a lot worse, but honestly, the way I see it, this is just them being like, hey, okay, you're playing Borderlands. Do you play it on PlayStation? Cool. Do you play it on Xbox? Cool. Do you play it on Steam? Cool. GOG? Cool. Device and usage data, device type, software and hardware details, language, browser. Okay, why do they need to know why do they need to know browser type? Like everything else kind of makes sense, but why do they need to specifically know this right here? Your browser type and version. Last I checked, Borderlands is not a game that can be played in a browser. So what in the world do they need that information for? Let's see. Next is profile inferences made from your information and web activity to help create a personal profile so we can identify goods and services that may be of interest. In other words, they're taking your data and they're going to use it to push advertisements out to you. I hate advertisement with a passion, and I think that this right here is just kind of scummy / scammy behavior. Audio and visual information, account photos, images, and avatar. Audio information via chat features and functionality. Gameplay recordings and video footage, such as when you participate in playtesting. So in other words, if I decide I'm gonna make a video with Borderlands gameplay, they are going to collect that video as part of the data they collect, even if I don't publish it. And here's the kicker: sensitive information, precise information location. If you allow the services to collect your location, that means direct global positioning data. They are wanting your GPS location. Why does a video game publisher want your GPS location? And the next big flag, the big red flag, account credentials, your username and password. That alone can mean, hey, they collect your username and password. They could potentially log in as you, do whatever they want with your stuff. And then if you get banned, that's your fault regardless. And on top of that, if you played the game after this privacy policy and terms of service got updated, then you would have to settle it through arbitration. You would not be able to appeal the ban without going through legal arbitration. It's just a whole bunch of different things that they added. I will not be going through all of it. However, I can recommend another video that goes into depth with it. It is a video called Take Two Spies on Borderlands Players. And it is a video by Hellfire. Hellfire has made a couple of videos on like this particular situation. They are really informative, and I recommend you go give them a watch. But that is all the time I have for this recording. If you found this informative, drop a like, and I will see you in the next video. So bye-bye.